Here at Dannenglor, the enemy holds and interrogates those they have captured in battle. The prisoners must be rescued swiftly.
Welcome, this is Pineleaf Needles, Skirmisher Middle-earth. Today we are going to run Dannenglor with my Rune-keeper. This will be the second in my series of running Dannenglor with the various classes. To see how each of them does in a skirmish after all the changes they made to the classes. Originally I ran LOTRO with all the classes, but they changed them all since then. I thought we should see each class running the same skirmish, and Dannenglor seems like a good choice for that. Now, you saw me with the Warden, where I did reasonably well, though I did have to face the toughest encounter there. Gladden, which is a bit of a pain to do, but I got through it. Barely. I just have to remember that I've got my high-level skills now, unlike in my other Rune-keeper series, where I am currently at level 20. So far, straightforward, easy enough. Alright, screaming and scratching echo from the main courtyard. So we have Rimdaloth today. I'm hoping that in the course of this we could at least get every encounter at least once. I do remember getting Gladden last time. I forgot which encounter we had for the other one. I'll have to look back on that. Now in this case we're running with a level 95 character. So this will be a little bit different from last time, where I was running with a character level 63, just barely high enough level to earn the skirmish. Alright, I don't have to worry about Gladden at least. Now when I don't have Gladden, I usually come up here for the for the counterattack to make things a little bit faster. Now the disadvantage of coming up here, of course, is that you're not going to get help from the prisoner. I'm usually more concerned about keeping them alive than with getting their help. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I come forward. The other reason I come forward, of course, is that the other reason I tend to come forward is to have the skirmish run a little bit faster, because if I'm forward a bit, then I don't have to worry about waiting for them to arrive. And if I don't have to worry about waiting for them to arrive, then we can get through it faster. But of course, as I said, I give out the help of the elves. So if you need the help of the prisoners, then you will need to hang back. And I've had too many cases where these guys get themselves killed, since this is where we have the double counterattack. So I do like to come up here. Oh, a blood rook! Then again, let's see if I survive this and have to eat my words, right? Actually, I should be attacking not the blood rook, but everybody else. Ooh, that's not good. That's definitely not good. Okay, yes. Shows you why sometimes getting the help of the rangers is helpful. Alright, that is how not to do the skirmish then. It is the first time I tried it at tier 2 and on a Rune-keeper. And blood rooks can get nasty at tier 2, as you can see there. Yeah, see? The entire reason for being up forward is, of course, defeated by the fact that one of the prisoners was just defeated. So that was a complete and utter loss. Edit. Alright, not how... Okay, don't do it that way. Of course, now I'm stuck with this. Of course, in theory, I really don't have to fight this counterattack because I've already lost the... Well, I guess if I want to take care of the... Wait, what's going on here? Get that bubble up. Well, actually that's probably not the best way to do that. Get that bubble up. Alright, I've only got one thing there. Alright, that was not the best way of doing that. Yeah, I probably should have just left those guys alone, but then I would not be able to do the encounter if that were the case. What do I have this time? Hope it's not another blood rook. Those blood rooks are a pain. Much better. Much better. Plan it right, and everything should be fine. Plan it wrong, and, well, you see what happens. Okay, that takes care of the counter... Oh, yes. I went through all the trouble and fighting off the counterattacks. Now, if I skip the counterattacks, you could lose the L's, but as you saw there, I managed to lose them anyway. But, of course, since there's an encounter right there. Probably should have waited until after I fought Rimdalot. Because yeah, I forgot I had Rimdalot here also. I was so worried about what happened before. And really, I should have fought Rimdalot before the counterattack. Now, these days it's not a problem, but when they first implemented the skirmish, Rimdalot over there could easily be summoned. You could easily get her attention when fighting the counterattacks. Alright, now, I really should prep properly. Now, here we go. I really should have thought of that before facing that stupid blood rook. And at least get that stone up. Alright, this is working a little bit better. So the encounter is really... Well, this particular encounter isn't all that difficult. The only really tough one is Ringalad. So, I may have to eat my words on that. There we go. Not as easy with the Rune-keeper as it is with the Warden. Alright, that takes care of that. Now, see how this works. Of course. Yes. Get that down. Get that down. Get that down. That down. That there, and... Okay. He'll be quiet for a moment, I hope. Now, this guy. These things are always in me. And that's why. Send me that time. Give me a chance to get that up. If I knew he was going to die, I would have tried for a bigger bubble. Very well, now we are done with that. That takes care of the outer areas. Now we can go inside. You really asked for that one. Alright then, I think the verdict is that still not quite up to tier... Certainly not going to be storming through tier 2s on the Rune-keeper just yet. There we go. And Rune-keeper I always found to be a challenging class when I'm doing skirmishes. And I'm sure that the changes of making the opposition a little bit tougher, I'm not sure what they really did, if it affected skirmishes. Throw that bubble up. Well, yes, the boss fights though usually are rarely the toughest fights you have. Usually the counters are a little bit tougher, at least in offensive skirmishes. There we go! Strike against Dannenglor, not the most efficient rendition of this skirmish ever done. But I did get through it, though I did lose 2 of the people I was supposed to be rescuing. And I managed to get punched in the face by a blood rook. So overall, not a particularly great run. So let's next time though see how well I do on the minstrel, and hopefully I can do better on the minstrels than on the Rune-keeper. They have similar roles in a party, so therefore I can only hope that I have better results. I will still try it at tier 2 though, to see how things work. And until then though, this is Pineleaf Needles. May your shield protect you, and your spear never break.